Hello and welcome back to the Baka Gaijin show with your lovable rascal, the host Siegfried, and with me, as always, is my...
Did you forget the list again?
Yeah.
God damn it.
My, inscrumpulous to detail co-host, Kevin Faulkner.
What the hell is that supposed to even mean?
Look, my job is very difficult.
Is it? Is it
it's
now?
It's not easy. I'm like the example parents point to. You know, I'm the new starving children in Africa.
It's like, look, kids, you need to set a good example. You need to be more like Zeke Freak.
Yeah. Guy who can't remember to do the fucking gag.
I don't know.
Anyway, welcome back, Kevin.
Hello.
It's been, as the kids might say, a hot sec.
It has been a while, yeah. Good 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. You were gone. You were who Kelly Clarkson was singing about.
Since you've been gone.
Mm-hmm. Now I gotta say something though. I still don't quite get how the bed can be warmer when the other person is not present, because that's not how thermodynamics works. I think Kelly Clarkson needs to go back to school, learn her some science,
get an education, maybe a degree.
Anyway, you've been gone though.
I have. Yeah, over the weekend. Oh boy, I have some shit to tell you about my weekend. Oh boy. So
we'll get into that. You know whose weekend I really want to hear about though?
Whose?
The Weeknd's
The
weekend.
Weeknd.
Yeah, I bet The Weeknd has some crazy weekends.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd. But yeah, not this weekend, but like last weekend was friggin' crazy. So my plan, what I was trying to do was on Thursday, I was planning on taking a Greyhound up to Ohio, to visit Cuba the Third, so that we could...
For any potential foreign listeners, that's a bus.
Yes, it's a bus.
He wasn't riding a giant dog.
Dude, that would have been sick, but also probably dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, public buses are pretty dangerous as is.
Yeah, true.
I've seen Silent Hill Downpour.
So, I had already bought my ticket like a month in advance, okay? So, it was locked in, and I got the economy ticket.
Of course you did.
And so, it was a non-refundable ticket.
Yeah.
And I figured, well, Greyhound seems to run a pretty tight ship. I shouldn't have an issue with a non-refundable ticket. Oh boy, I was wrong. So I get in the car. It's like 8:30 in the morning, and my bus leaves at 9. So I get in the bus. I get in the car to go to the bus stop. And I go to the Greyhound website to bring up my ticket, and it says it can't find my ticket. So I'm very concerned about that because by the time we get to the bus stop, my bus is 20 minutes out, or it should be rather.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. And I can't get to my ticket. My ticket's not up. So we spend about 5 minutes trying to figure out where the hell the customer service line for, Greyhound is. We call them up. We get to talk to a representative. And, I give them all of the information that they need. My name, my address, the routing number, that shit.
Your social security number, your bank routing information.
And it turns out that... I don't know what the hell happened, but apparently the bus was unable to do the route at my stop.
Yeah.
On the day I was supposed to leave. I was not notified of it at all. I checked my email and I did not get any kind of notification. I was not called, I was not texted. And they just canceled my ticket without telling me. And I had to call them up to know why, to find out the fact that it got canceled, and I wasn't able to go on the day I was supposed to go, which...
Cancel culture strikes again.
I don't think that's the same thing.
I think some people would disagree.
I don't know. Anyway, so I am just crestfallen. I am pissed because I spent $70 on this round trip ticket, and that's basically just flushing $70 down the toilet right there.
Don't want to do that.
And there's nothing I can do at that point, so I just tell, I just tell my sibling, fuck it, take me home. I want to go lay in my bed and sulk. I'm just so mad. But there was a silver lining, however.
Woo.
So it turns out Ash, name of my sibling, Ash needed to go to Cincinnati the next day anyway, in order to take my niece in for an eye exam at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And Cincinnati is less than an hour away from where Cube the Third lives. So what we ended up doing is I just went with Ash to Cincinnati Children's, went through the entire doctor's appointment, and then Ash drove me to Cube's place, which actually worked out better because if I had taken another bus, I would have actually gotten there later than if Ash had driven me.
Yeah.
So I lost a day of my trip, but it all worked out anyway because everything we wanted to do was on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got there, and
Should we get your money back?
Ash reimbursed me for what Greyhound wouldn't give me back, so it all worked out.
I feel like you have a case there if you wanted to hammer that.
It honestly, at that point, we were tired and we didn't want to deal with it. If this happens again, though, we are going to yeah. If they do this again, I'm gonna get my money back. Fuck it. It's okay, one time I get it, but if this happens again, god damn it. So on Friday, we go to Melt, which is this really nice place that sells cheese-based sandwiches and shit. Really good shit. Melt is a great place. If you go to Dayton, Ohio, definitely check out Melt. They have a lot of great sandwiches. And after that, we go to Round 1 Arcade. And Round 1, man, I have a way with the UFO catchers at Round 1.
Yeah. Because
every time I go, I come out like a bandit, just with an armload of stuff. Last time I went, I got a Godzilla and a Mothra, Godzilla and Mothra plushies, a friggin' Asuka from Evangelion minifigure, and this time I came out with this Eternal Sailor Moon, really nice Eternal Sailor Moon figure, and this life-size Kirby plushie. And using the tickets that I got from the ticket machines, I got myself an Eevee hoodie.
Oh.
Sorry, an Eevee hood, rather, just the hood. Which I took a picture of it and put it on Twitter. Yeah, you know what? Fuck, I'll slap it in the video so everybody can see how much of a dork I am.
Yeah, good idea.
Here we go. Here you go. Look at that. Look at me. Look at my dumb ass face.
You mean live? Okay, okay.
No. I'm gonna edit it in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I'm an editor. I can do that.
Yeah,
I have the power.
Do it live. You could also do it live, but that would require some foresight.
Yeah, I'm doing this right in by the seat of my pants here. So that happened, and on Saturday, me, Cube the Third, Saradin, his name is Saradin.
It is true.
We make that joke every time.
It is known.
And 3 other people we all went to Kings Island, which is this freaking amazing amusement park, and I have never been on a roller coaster before.
Whoa.
And, yeah, they basically were just like, okay, Kevin, are you going to be a pussy today? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a pussy. I'm a fucking man. So, yeah, I went on like 7 roller coasters in a single day.
Wow.
Oh, man. The roller coasters at Kings Island are so much fun. The only one I didn't like was this one called Invertigo, which, the way it's designed, it's an inverted roller coaster with like...
So it goes backwards?
It's an inverted roller coaster in that the rail is above you rather than below you.
Oh, right, yeah. So you swing!
Yeah. And now, I was actually fine for the first half of this roller coaster because the way it works is that you're pulled up to the top of the ride, and then you're launched through it, and then you go to the other side of the ride, and then you just go through it again, but backwards.
Yeah.
I was fine with it for the first half. I damn near passed out when it went backwards.
Yeah.
Turns out, I cannot do backwards roller coasters. It does not work for me. I'm fine with roller coasters, mostly because I can see what the fuck is happening. I know what's coming. I can prepare myself. If it's going backwards, I can't do that.
Oh, you would hate Space Mountain then.
Yeah, I'd probably hate Space Mountain. Which
I hated Space Mountain because I was desperately afraid I was going to lose my glasses.
That's fair. That's a fair concern. I was concerned on Invertigo because I thought I was going to lose my shoes because it's a dangler, so like my feet are just kind of hanging out. Yeah.
I don't like roller coasters in general. I realized that sometime in my early 20s, I'm like, you know what? This is a young man's game. I have more respect for my own life now.
Most roller coasters are actually perfectly safe.
Yeah, but I overthink everything.
That's totally fair. I had a great time.
Even if I didn't, I just don't enjoy the experience very much.
That's completely fair. Meanwhile, I'm just like, yeah, let's go to the next one. That was great. There's this one roller coaster at Kings Island. It's probably my favorite. It's called Flight of Fear. It was formerly, back in the 90s when it was made, it was a ride based off of the reboot of The Outer Limits. And it is a sci-fi themed ride where you go inside of this military-industrial hangar that houses a giant UFO prop. You go inside of the UFO to get to the ride, and the way the ride works is that in the launch area, you're strapped down. They make sure that your restraints are tied in, and the ride operator launches you out of the ride. And the way the ride launches, typically for a roller coaster, it starts off slow and it just kind of builds until you get to like the first drop. The first drop is right at the beginning, and it shoots you out like a railgun.
Yeah.
And every time they launch the ride, the operator says something ridiculous, like just to kind of like clue the people on the ride in that ride's starting. Bye. Sheridan told me a couple of times that he was on the ride. One time, they launched the ride by just saying yeet.
Of course.
Which Sheridan was just like dead faced throughout half that ride. Apparently, just like, I can't believe you.
I can't even enjoy this now. You ruined it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's friggin' hilarious. The second time, I believe this was actually the first time he went on the ride. So the people before him, they put down the restraints and snapped everybody into the ride. And the operator was like, "Does everybody want a countdown?" And everyone was like, "Yeah." And he did a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Launch the ride.
I would have been like, nope. I would have been like, well, that's too bad, and I just did it anyway.
Well, what happened was, Sheridan got on the ride. His group got on the ride. They put on all the restraints, made sure they were secure, and was like, "Do you guys want a countdown?" Everyone goes, "Yeah." Okay, 3 launches the ride. Which just scares the bejesus out of everybody.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when I went on the ride, they did all the preparations and checks and whatever, and right before the ride launches, wow. God damn it. Friggin' mouth.
Fuck?
Right before the ride launches, I just, like, everybody's kind of, like, you know, buzzing and very excited, and I just hear the operator say, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." and then the ride goes off. That entire ride takes place entirely in the dark, by the way. So it is...
Yeah. Just like Space Mountain.
Yeah, it is a friggin' blast. God, I love that ride. I've actually seen what the ride looks like with all the lights on. Sheridan described it best to me. It's a ball of yarn. It is just like multiple friggin' loops spinning around in a circle with this like one really harsh turn right in the last like third of the ride. And that last turn pulls some G's on you. It is really harsh, but like I really like it. It's really well done. And just like the ride begins like really suddenly with like shooting you out like a railgun, it stops really suddenly too. It just like you go into like the final hallway, and then it does a hard brake, and then it just grinds to a halt, and then you get out. And I think a fun little effect of the ride is when the previous cart actually comes into the launch area, you get out in the previous room. So when the cart comes through, it's empty, which gives the impression that everybody flew off the ride.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that crazy. I friggin' love Flight of Fear. That is such a fun ride. I loved it. I love that so much.
Yeah.
It's just
like roller...
What?
Okay.
No, go ahead.
So if you like roller coasters, if you ever go to Colossal Con, you should take a day to go to Cedar Point while you're there.
Yeah. We might actually. That's something that we might do.
You might. I will not be going. There's nothing to do with Cedar Point but roller coasters.
Hey, great for me.
Yeah. Like, people have asked me, do you want to go to Cedar Point? I'm like, no, I don't like roller coasters, and that's the only thing you can do there that doesn't require spending a ton of money on food.
Then there's me. Yeah, roller coasters, let's go!
Yeah, food or fucking Peanuts merchandise.
I love how I went directly from I am never getting on a roller coaster in my life to fuck yeah, roller coasters in one day.
I had the opposite experience. I was like, fuck yeah, roller coasters, and then I did like a few, and I'm like, no, I don't like this.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just love the sense of adrenaline that it gives me.
Yeah.
I just love that shit, so...
I play video games for that.
Fair enough. But yeah, had a fucking amazing time at Kings Island. Great place to go if you love roller coasters.
Bad place to go if you hate the monarchy.
Yeah, I guess. And the other day that I was there, me and Cube just watched a couple of movies. We watched 2 movies while I was up there because he has a theater system.
He's got the fancy lights.
He do. We watched Promare and Made in Abyss: Dawn of the Deep Soul. So I'm fully caught up on Made in Abyss. I'm ready for the next season.
Yeah.
So Promare, man, I feel like the director Imaishi and the writer Nakashima, I feel like they just tried to make the single craziest movie that they could possibly do in 2 hours. That movie is pure bonkers insanity, and I loved every second of it. It makes it very clear that like it doesn't really run on quote unquote logic half the time. It is just here to be, bonkers and off the wall, and boy, it sure is. It absolutely is.
Sure do that.
Also, one of the only times I can think of where a movie was actually better for having like CG, like an anime movie was actually better for being like mostly CG, because the only thing that's traditionally animated are scenes that involve just the characters. Anytime that there's an action scene or like something that involves mecha or whatever, it always switches over to CG. But the CG in Promare is really, really well done. They make really good use of it with very creative camera work, choreography, stuff that would be very, very difficult to actually do in traditional animation without it, being horrifically off-model or taking 7 years to do. Looking at you, Redline. And it's done in this very colorful, almost kaleidoscopic style that results in just this beautiful-looking movie that has just a crazy, crazy amount of just, like, wild action. The music is also fantastic, but it's a Sawano score, so of course it's amazing.
Yeah.
And Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul. So there was one thing about that movie that I was spoiled on before I went in, and
what was that?
Well, I can't say it. It's a spoiler.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's true.
And well, I can say one thing for sure. Not only did the spoiler not actually affect my viewing experience, the spoiler arguably made what it was spoiling even more effective.
Yeah.
Because the initial shock of, whatever would have happened was replaced by this, like, intense sense of dread throughout this entire movie.
Right.
And when things actually go down in the movie, like, it's arguably more effective. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I don't want to rob you of, like, the shock experience like I was, but
okay.
Man, Dawn of the Deep Soul is fucking fantastic. Excellent cinematic experience.
You're talking about that. You're talking about that movie now. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were still talking about Promare.
No, I said Made in Abyss.
Look, I got a notification on my phone for a Kickstarter update, and I was kind of reading that while you were talking.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
yeah.
That's fair.
I'm an investor now, Kevin.
Ah, I understand. Well, we'll get into that in a moment. I gotta talk first. We don't have
to, but we could.
If you want to.
Whatever. Talk about your movies or whatever.
But yeah, Dawn of the Deep Soul is so fucking good. I can see why Kinema Citrus decided to make Dawn of the Deep Soul a movie rather than trying to do it in the form of like a TV series. Because this works excellently as a movie. It's paced very well. And it actually kind of follows like a traditional 3-act structure. Like, you have your build-up, you have the moment during the second act where, things start to go to shit. And then the third act is like this big climax.
It's like the anti-Mugen Train.
Oh man, woo! But yeah,
I don't even think that's a hot take. It's just
it's not.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yep.
But I had a fucking ton of I friggin' loved Dawn of the Deep Soul. Amazing movie, fantastic. I'm arguably more sad now that I wasn't able to see that in theaters thanks to the pandemic.
But now you got to see it with fancy lights.
I did, which was basically just as good, but like, I don't know, the theater experience is kind of a unique thing.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I know, you made a whole video about it.
I did. Like and subscribe.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to since the last podcast. I had a wonderful weekend. Marvelous. Amazing. Despite some rough patches near the beginning. Thanks, Greyhound. What have you been up to?
Can't wait to watch Made in Abyss. You'll have another chance to make me at this year's Game Awards.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this time.
If you don't know, Kevin and I have an annual thing where we make predictions for the Game Awards, and we bet something that the other person has to do. If the other person loses, it's just our annual thing to make the Game Awards even more exciting.
I mean, it certainly
And
helped.
then 90% of what we guess never happens, so we're left like disappointed anyway.
I can't believe that you won last time just because they decided to announce the release date of Super Meat Boy Forever out of nowhere.
Yeah, and the irony is Super Meat Boy Forever sucks.
Woo!
But I still feel a sense of gratitude because it won me a bet.
Yeah, I was screaming in chat, no, no, no!
Yeah, and it was just like a fucking like 30-second blurb near the end, and it was just like, yeah.
It was better than the previous year where none of us got anything right.
That's true. That one sucked.
That whole show was awful.
Yeah, that was the bad year. That was like the bad year.
Hey kids, do you like live service games and card games? A couple. Great, we're gonna have a show that's nothing but that.
Yeah, I think we've complained about that before, but that show was all like live service, card games, and MMOs. It's like it was appealing to like 12 different audiences, and none of them had any intersection whatsoever.
Last year's Game Awards, at the very least, announced Sephiroth for Smash Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that was a good-ass reveal.
I don't know. You can't. I feel like they were too good with Joker, and then everything after that was like, eh.
Okay, to be fair, Joker was a really good reveal.
Yeah. That was like the best reveal of anything ever. Especially if you were there. If you were there, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Minecraft Steve was close.
In shock factor, but like there's something about like the live nature and like the contextualization of the Phantom Thieves that makes that like the Joker reveal just like a tier above.
Like it literally happened because he stole the invitation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the lights go off. Jeff Keighley stops talking. He's like, "I've infiltrated the theater,"
Which is actually
good. They actually recorded two different versions of that. One for like the live version and one for like the recorded trailer.
Yeah.
Where he says something different. I don't remember what it was, but he doesn't say infiltrated the theater because it wouldn't have made sense if you didn't watch it in the theater.
Yeah.
But at the live, that was amazing.
He went alone to the Game Awards?
What a loser.
Apparently, I think it's Erica Harlacher, who voices, oh god, what the fuck is her name?
There's a few girls.
Not Futaba, but like the other main.
Yeah, it's Anne.
Anne, yeah, that's her. Erica Harlacher, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I knew that. I just wanted to see you struggle.
Yeah. When Erica Harlacher did, like in the trailer, when the Joker flips the letter over and it has the Smash logo on it. Apparently, Erica Harlacher's "what" was her actual reaction in the voice booth.
Yeah, they do that. They do that sometimes, just to get the most genuine reactions.
I think that's so perfect. It's great.
It is great. For real?
Is this for real?
For real?
It's so perfect. Dude, that's amazing too because God, Xander Mobus, who plays Joker, is also the Smash announcer. So what happened was before he even recorded that trailer, he was brought in to do new announcer voice lines, and they didn't tell him going in who the next character was. They just gave him the script, and when he read Joker, he was like, "Wait, I'm gonna be playable?"
Yeah, it's great.
There's just so many levels to the Joker reveal. It's so fun. God. Yeah, you're kind of right. Joker kind of, like, in terms of just sheer aesthetics and, like, just consistency
context
with the franchise. Yeah, context and whatever. The Joker reveal was probably the best one.
I did a Twitter thread once where I'm like, I think that reveal was so good it actually set expectations too high for what was possible.
Whoops. Sorry, people.
Yeah, because that was the first one. and like it was such a left field thing that like it made people think anything could be on the table. And then looking at what the DLC packs ended up being, it wasn't really like that. You know,
Yeah.
you had a couple of surprises in there, but for the most part, it wasn't anything mind blowing. I don't think.
I would disagree.
Well, you're retarded, so that's fine.
Well, okay. See, we're allowed to say that because we are retarded.
Yeah, exactly.
It's our word.
My rule of thumb is if I was called it periodically throughout my childhood, I'm allowed to say it.
I mean, okay.
That also means I can call you fat, even though it's not at all accurate.
I'm not that fat, no. I'm actually quite skinny.
Yeah. Oh my god, he said the S word.
Body
offensive
shaming.
To that's offensive to anorexic people. Remember when Kirby got mad that I kept saying the word purge?
Which Kirby? Like Kirby GCN?
Like, no, like on the Amino, the one.
Oh,
the
right,
one,
yeah.
Yeah, the one girl who told me she didn't like my designs, that they hurt her eyes, and I'm like, okay, well, we're all wrong sometimes. Yeah, she used to get really mad at me when I said, it wasn't even that often, but sometimes I'd just say the word purge, and she'd get like super upset.
I hate to break it to you, but the word purge has other contexts.
It's a normal ass fucking word. What the fuck was I talking about?
Smash Brothers?
Right, right. Fuck that. Let's go what I've been doing.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome to the Tangent Podcast, where we forget the point
That's
all the time.
the third time you've made that joke since we got back.
I know. Well, it's. I'll stop making it when it stops being true.
Consistently, it is accurate.
It is. But that's what the people come here for. That's the Baka Gaijin experience.
Biting social commentary, laughing at other people's expense, and just random ass tangents. That's the full experience.
Yep.
We're ostensibly an anime podcast.
This is the first time I think we've mentioned anime in the last half hour. But anyway, what I've been doing since you've been gone, that I get to talk about, because the weird, no, I guess it's not weird, but we didn't actually talk a whole lot while you were gone. I would say our communication reduced to about 30-40% of what it normally is.
Yeah, and that's mostly just because I was busy.
That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Hang out with your cool friends, whatever.
You are my cool friends.
Yep. I'm the Cool Ranch Doritos of friends.
To be fair, Cool Ranch is probably my favorite flavor of Doritos.
I was in the convenience store like a few days ago, as I go in after work all the time, and this kid was running around, and his mom was like, "Shut up! We need to get the blue Doritos for Daddy." I'm like, the blue Doritos? This blue Doritos? And I look around, and I was like, oh, she means the Cool Ranch because the bag's blue. I'm like, that's boring. Wish there were actual blue Doritos.
Oh man, I need to tell you how, like, okay, so my sibling's eldest child, I can't say niece anymore because they identify as non-binary, but
the child?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I need to tell you how white they are because the eldest child is like autistic and has some sensory like issues, like very sensitive sensory issues.
Synesthesia or what?
Nah, just like I mean, I don't know, but
What the fuck? She's got this very specific thing. What is it? I don't know.
But one of the things that they have an issue with is like intense flavors.
Right.
Like they can pick out very minute elements of flavors and shit.
Like wheat bread is too spicy kind of deal.
They literally call Cool Ranch Doritos spicy chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
That child's gonna have a hard time in life.
They're spicy. No, they're not.
Keep that
Zest.
child far away from Chinatown.
It is a zest. It is zesty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. Oh, jeez. I kind of want to give them like a cinnamon flavored Jelly Belly jelly bean just to see what their reaction is.
Ooh, a Mike and Ike's hot.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you think that's spicy? Try this.
Yeah, I just want the intense cinnamon flavor, like a fucking. In my mind, I was gonna go with the Taco Bell things, but those aren't actually all that flavorful. They're actually pretty bland.
Yeah.
They're actually just more. They're more sugar than cinnamon, actually. I remember that, and I haven't had Taco Bell in probably like 8 years.
Which is interesting because I actually ordered a shitload of Taco Bell last night.
Oh, did you get the cinnamon twirls?
No. I actually got that last time.
Those suck, by the way. They feel like a forgotten breakfast cereal that got repackaged as a snack.
It's like, hey, do you want to eat churros but bad?
Basically, yeah. Do they even sell real churros?
No, they sell these like cinnamon, like French toast stick things that basically taste like churros.
Man, why does Taco Bell suck so much?
I don't know.
I had a job. I had a job interview there. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for part-time work, and they're like, hey, can you do 12 hours? I'm like, no, and I just got up and left.
Bye.
I'm sorry. I don't accept this idea that doing 12 hours twice a week is part-time.
It's not.
I know the math checks out, but that's not. No.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I was like trying. That one time that I applied for a job at Walmart, they were like, "Hi, can you work 10 hours a day, 3 days a week?"
No, yeah,
no.
Yep. I had the same thing, and then I left after the first day because I was really not used to walking around that much. End of that shift, my bones were fucking cracking in my feet. I'm like, no, I'm not physically capable of doing this.
Yeah. I have issues with my feet too. Like, if I walk around too much, my feet actually become like sore on the pads and like they begin to swell slightly. So I can't do that either.
Yeah, I've been getting better since I started working, but like my shifts are like 5 hours, so it's not too bad. Plus, I can sit down sometimes on like the big stock pot.
Yeah, true.
Unless they're using it, they put. I hate it when they put food in my chair. Rude. Sometimes I'll show up and like the stock pot's full of vegetables or something, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? You put food in my chair."
I'm dying at the way you worded that.
Well, it's 100% accurate.
Well, yes, but actually, no.
Might be the title. Fuck you, you put food in my chair. I'm determined to put the word fuck into every video title so that we never get recommended to anyone. If you're listening to the Baka Gaijin show, you're in a secret club, and you're awesome for it.
The algorithm hates us by nature.
Exactly. Because I keep putting words like fuck and rape in the titles.
And jaundice.
I don't think they check for. I don't think that's on the bad word list. Is jaundice like that big a deal?
Is it? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. It's just yellow babies. The fuck's wrong with that? They'll get. What is that? An iron deficiency? They'll get their iron.
Okay.
Is that an? I actually don't remember what jaundice is. Is that an iron deficiency?
I don't know.
I named a chapter jaundice once.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like Deadly Life Part 2, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jaundice.
Jaundice may occur if the liver can't efficiently process red blood cells as they break down. I don't think it's an iron deficiency. I think. It's
Welcome to science.
Welcome to the Science Podcast, where we know everything and you know nothing. This is my classroom. Love that scene. I think I literally said that like 2 podcasts ago, though.
I think that was the last episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think it was, because I think mine's would have had a bigger reaction.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that was the one before that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what I've been doing, I've been playing a little game. You might have heard of it. It's been making the rounds lately. It's called Metroid Dread.
Woo! How is it?
This small little indie series no one's ever heard of. Apparently.
I mean. So how is it?
It's pretty good. I liked it.
I hear everyone calling it the best Metroid ever.
I'd say of the ones I've played, it's probably been the most fun. But it's also it might just be because it's the most modern. And you don't have to do shit like aim on a D-pad.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot of people are like very, very happy with how Dread turned out. Which is good, because apparently reactions to Samus Returns, which is from the same developers, was a little mixed. Like, still positive overall, but like a little mixed.
Yeah. No, yeah, they addressed pretty much everything people complained about in Samus Returns in this one.
That's good.
Yeah. This feels like the first time Mercury Steam has had everything together. I feel like it's been a long road of gradually building competence until this point.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
I feel like Nintendo are good enough judges of how, like, okay, broadly speaking, there are some exceptions. There are some exceptions. Looking at you, ND Cube,
Yeah.
where Nintendo's generally pretty good at figuring out which developers are like a good fit for developing different franchises that they hold custody, I guess.
Yeah, in the divorce, they got Metroid in the divorce.
Your fan is causing a lot of noise, by the way.
Sorry, I moved so I wasn't blocking the wind anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That just sounded weird on my end. Okay. Anyway, as we were. Nintendo's generally a pretty good, like, judge of who's a good developer for, like, the different franchises that they hold the rights to. And I feel like Nintendo would not have given Mercury Steam Metroid Dread as their next project if they didn't feel confident in their work.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of feel the same way about how Nintendo allowed WayForward to develop the Advance Wars remake, which I'm looking forward to, by the way. Wish it got more advertisement than literally none at all, but eh.
I got into a fight over that.
See, you make a good point, but the thing is, I'm not saying that here's the thing. I'm not saying it should get the same amount of advertisement as Metroid Dread. I'm saying it should get advertisement, like literally any advertisement at all, instead of just nothing.
Well, it was in a direct, Kevin.
One time.
Well, yeah, you don't want to see the same thing over and over again. Remember Deathloop? Everyone hated that.
Remember Metroid Dread? Everyone loved that.
Did they show that in multiple directs?
They did, yeah. Multiple directs, a ton of different trailers.
To be fair, it was coming out.
Yeah, but so was Advance Wars.
I mean, to be fair, they did their announcement, and then right when it was coming out. That seems pretty fair. Let's not. They only do like 3 or 4 of these a year.
Yeah, true.
I think you're just a butthurt baby.
Yes, I am. Fuck you.
Wah.
I want Advance Wars to be successful.
Wah.
Yes, yeah. Wah, boomy.
Apparently, Metroid Dread has become sort of like a big point of pride for game developers in Spain, which is nice.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Right. Mercury Steam is based in Spain, aren't they?
Yes, they are Spanish.
Oh. Cool.
No one expects the Spanish game developer.
Welcome to Spain. We make Metroid, I think.
Now they do.
We do.
Some of it. Yeah, that's where the Metroid is made. Spain and Texas.
It is. Oh my god, you're right.
I made that point to you a while ago that like there's now more like Western-made Metroids than there are Japanese-made ones.
Yeah, let me think. The only Japanese-made ones are. Let me think here. 1, 2, Super Metroid, and Fusion. Yeah, everything else was made in either America or fucking Spain. What the shit?
Yeah, I feel like if Prime 4 really hits out of the park, this franchise is like, it's not gonna go dormant again. I feel.
Oh yeah, like Metroid Dread already brought back a lot of people. They're like, Metroid is arguably going as a Metroid Dread. Like, if Prime 4 knocks it out of the park, Metroid's gonna be bigger than it ever has been.
It won't be a has-been. It'll be a now thing.
It will be. It will be. The thing is, hold on. Here's the thing about the Metroid series. Metroid has been, popular, but it hasn't been like,
super influential.
Yeah, very influential, but it hasn't been like one of Nintendo's biggest mega successes. It's kind of been like a mid-range success, like a mid-range series for the longest time.
You can kind of point to with almost every release, you can kind of point to some extenuating circumstance why that might have been.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like the absence of Metroid post Other M has actually helped the reputation of the series to a degree. Because, God damn it. Having some heartburn. Fuck.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
Okay, I'm good. Let me sit up. Okay.
So what he was saying was that Other M indirectly saved the franchise.
See, Other M might have been like a big failure, but it made people go back to the original games and really look at what made those games work. It made people really, God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
A little bit. It made people go back and really study those games and really focus on what made them work and why they were so good, even in terms of storytelling.
Although, to be fair, I did watch that 45-minute analysis of the original Japanese script, and man, that's Other M is a great example of how localization can absolutely butcher a product.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the Japanese version was great by any standard, but the English localization was it fucked up bad.
Yeah, if they released a more accurate translation at the time, I don't think Other M would be quite the laughingstock it is, because so many of the points people really have against Other M are just not present in the Japanese script, or they're better contextualized.
Yeah.
You can actually see the themes and nuance that Sakamoto was going for, and it's not buried under uncomfortable vibes in terms of trying to overcorrect certain problems, or also adhere to Fusion's weird localization, which oversimplified things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of plot points in Other M are callbacks to Fusion, but Fusion's script was kind of oversimplified at the time. It's not bad, but it was oversimplified. And so to adhere to that, it was kind of like a snowball cascading effect where okay, well, we gotta be accurate to Fusion's localization. And so they made all these, they took these things out, and that removed some nuance and complexity, and then that reduced some characterization, and then they tried to overcorrect for that, and it was a whole, that's a great, Other M is a great showcase for how a localization can just go so wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully, Samus Returns and Dread don't have those issues being natively made in English.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah, I hear a lot of people talk about how the Japanese version of Other M is actually more consistent with the rest of the franchise than the English version.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Which, hey, Other M is getting reevaluated too. Go figure.
Yeah. I mean, this is the reason why Sakamoto, he doesn't want to throw it away. There's the ending cards in Metroid Dread are for all the sort of mainline games in the franchise based on the difficulty and the completion time. So there's cards for Zero Mission, Samus, Samus Returns, Super Metroid, Fusion, Other M, and then one for Metroid Dread. And then there's a Zero Suit one if you get all of them. But there's another M card, and it's because Sakamoto considers it, a main entry. And why wouldn't he? Because like in his mind, the version he wrote was fine. So
yeah, it's still canon.
It's just the dub he directed was awful.
Yeah, the dub was bad, like just straight up trash.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel bad for the actress who does Samus too, because the actress who does Samus was actually like a massive Metroid fan and really loved doing Samus. It's just she was given shit material, like a shit fucking localized script to work with.
Yeah, that reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, where Kotori's Seiyu is like an actual professional Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, and then they made her voice a character that duels like once when she's brainwashed, and that's it.
That's so bad.
Yeah, that's actually the same voice actress who played Tsumugi in Japanese.
Tsumugi from
Danganronpa.
Oh,
you fucking idiot!
Dude, there are like 5 different Tsumugis that come to mind when you say that. Like, come on.
Only one of them has edible eyebrows, though.
Yeah.
Yep. That's gonna really trip people up out of context. I'm not gonna explain myself. You can look that up yourself.
Google it.
Yeah, type that into Google. Get yourself on a list.
List of anime girls with edible eyebrows.
No, you're not high. This is a real thing. Just gotta remind people sometimes,
Delicious.
This is your official PSA. You're not high, unless you are, in which case this is probably even weirder to you.
We're sorry.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
If you take THC and listen to us, then you get everything you deserve.
Good luck.
Yeah, just good luck following. But yeah, I played and beat Metroid Dread, and I also played and finished Alan Wake Remastered.
How's that?
Pretty good. It's a nice little package, nice little cleanup job and whatnot. They didn't change the gameplay in any way. They bundled the DLC episodes. They made it 4K. It runs at 60. It's one of those games that runs at 60-ish FPS, and that's just because there's no reason why it shouldn't be locked 60. It's an older game, but apparently it's just an old engine, and it's just
right.
it's kerfudgety, it doesn't want to get off the damn port, So like it's 60 with some drops. It's not perfect, but it's more than playable. It's fine. But I had a good time. It's a really good October game because Alan Wake is spooky, but it's not like scary.
It's not scary. It's just a little spooky.
It's a little spooky. So that was good. I actually have Control Ultimate Edition, so I might actually make this like a Remedy month. I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll see. That game's also a little bit spooky because it's inspired by SCP Foundation. Which kind of makes me mad. That kind of put me off of it for a bit. Because... So, this is like a pet peeve of mine, but like...
Yeah.
I'm getting a little exhausted of things that are inspired by SCP Foundation, but don't want to just be SCP Foundation. And I know why. We all know why. Kevin knows why.
Capitalism. Sorry.
Yeah, because SCP Foundation is under a Creative Commons share-alike license, which means you can use anything, but you can't exclusively profit off of it. If you make an SCP movie, it is perfectly legal for someone to take that movie and then sell it themselves.
Yep.
And also just put it for free, because it's Creative Commons share-alike. And that's the reason why you pretty much will never see, like, big budget, mainstream SCP adaptations. It's always going to be like serial numbers filed off because people want to control these things, which is kind of against the spirit of SCP Foundation. But whatever, I guess if you're not SCP Foundation, you don't have to follow the principles of SCP Foundation. So Control kind of annoys me on like a conceptual level for that reason, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get over that and I'll probably have a good time. The one exception though is that I forget the fucking name, but there's like a Chinese side scroller coming out. It's like a side scrolling action game that actually is actually like SCP based. And like there's an SCP-682 boss fight, and I remember because there was nothing in the title or like the description that like implies it's like in the SCP universe. But then one day they put out like a video. And I was like, "Hey, here's the boss fight against SCP-682," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Is it like the exact same as like on the SCP wiki or whatever?
Well, it's the very very hard to kill lizard.
Okay.
The infamous one, and like it's an actual boss fight, and then they're like, "Hey, this game deals with SCPs and stuff," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Woo!
That was a plot twist. You can't plot twist me before I even buy the thing. That's not allowed. It's allowed. You can do that. Lie in your marketing. That's what I always say.
It's not lying.
The great,
I
the
don't
greats
know.
do it. All the greats lie in their marketing.
I guess
It's
so.
it's not a good video game unless it's lied to you a few times.
So is that all you've been up to?
No, I've all been eating and sleeping and going to work, and I did a little bit of writing. Breathing, big fan of breathing.
I love breathing.
I fucking love breathing.
I'm breathing right now.
We have so much in common.
Yay!
Yeah, love breathing. Watching some of the new animes.
Yeah, because we got a new
Yes,
season.
we're an anime podcast. Did you know that?
We are, ostensibly.
Did you know that? It's news to everyone.
I saw the new episode of Demon Slayer that came out.
I did too. I saw that. It was a pretty good prequel to the arc.
Yeah, it's nice to actually get more screen time with Rengoku because, like, between the previous arc and Mugen Train, I feel like we could have used a little bit more time with him. So it's actually nice that we have this episode to kind of spend more time with him and see more of his personality and like.
It's very interesting because like the movie presents kind of a shift because like at the end of the TV series, the last we really saw of him was like he was calling for Nezuko's execution.
Yeah.
And then, like at the beginning of the movie, he's just like delicious. Like, oh, what a likable guy.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of supposed to forget that he was just calling for execution.
Yeah, and like both
Rengoku
and Tanjiro just kind of like brush off the fact that he was doing that. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I have no issues with you now because your sister is now an official Demon Slayer. It's fine.
Now we get to ease in a little bit. Gotta ease in.
Yeah, I like that we actually get to see more of Rengoku's selflessness and his desire to help other people.
And his respect for small business.
Yes. He buys everything twice.
Man, that guy supports local businesses like nobody's business.
What a swell guy. I hope nothing unfortunate happens to... Oh.
It's just like, yeah. And this was not in the manga. This was all anime original.
It feels like a natural extension of the story, though.
Yeah, it feels really nice. It's good. I forgot to make this joke last time, and I made it on Twitter, but I'm going to make this joke now.
Yeah?
And that's that I love that the ANN preview guide is sponsored by Yashahime. And the first thing they did when the Yashahime reviews came in was like 3 people in a row going, "Man, Yashahime fucking sucks." I love that so much.
Sponsored by garbage.
Sponsored by fucking endless trash.
Endless trash.
I love it. It's so fucking funny. I am not invested in this at all. I don't know anything about Inuyasha or anything, but like, holy shit. I mean, aside from the Inuyasha, Kagome, that
Kagome!
Kagome, Inuyasha, Kagome. It's like, but like the thing I love so much is that they are so fucking desperate to make Yashahime a hit, and like nobody's biting.
God, that just... You mentioned, like, the Inuyasha Kagome thing. There was literally an Adult Swim commercial back in the day that was just 15 seconds of Inuyasha Kagome! Inuyasha
I'm
Kagome!
pretty sure that's where the joke comes from. But yeah, they're so desperate to make Yashahime a hit, and they acting like it's the new hot thing and a big deal, and like the consensus from everyone is just like, it's not great.
Yeah, even diehard fans of Inuyasha are like, man, I sure love the concepts behind these new characters. Too bad they're stuck in a horrible fucking show.
Yeah, it's like there's some good ideas here, but man, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, everyone's like, I love my little baby Moroha. She's part of a terrible fucking anime.
I'm trying to think of a good personal example for that. I know I have them, but I just can't think of any at the moment. Yeah, but I guess Yashahime is like the fucking... It's like the fucking Xiaolin Chronicles of anime. A thing nobody fucking wanted.
Oh god, that's accurate. Ooh.
Yep. You all forgot Xiaolin Chronicles was a thing, and I'm here to remind you, it was a thing, and it was bad.
It's terrible, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's like, I'm waiting for the third in the holy trinity of sequels that are bad that people shouldn't have ever wanted. I got Xiaolin Chronicles, I got Code Lyoko Evolution, which is also fucking horrible. I'm just waiting for that. It happens in anime a lot. Like, I think at one point in my life I called it Mero Mega Syndrome.
Oh my god.
But, yeah. Yeah, anyway, other things I've been watching.
This is the Shinsetsu Bobobo of Inuyasha.
There was a sequel, Bobobo?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a sequel series to Bobobo called Shinsetsu Bobobo, and it tried to, like, keep a little bit of the, like, gag manga elements, but also try to transition it into, like, a more serious action-based, arc-based story, but it didn't work. And all the fans of Bobobo who liked the fact that it was complete batshit insanity hated Shinsetsu.
I think the problem started when they didn't call the sequel to Bobobo. I think that was where the problem started.
Bobobo 2, Bo Harder.
No. Just put it twice. Just put it Bobobo.
Oh, kind of like Hagane no Renkin Jutsushi Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, perfect. Except, you know, that's actually has a translation, and Bobobo is just gibberish. It's
Full
like,
Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
They didn't account for that when they were like, oh, we're gonna have to release this on Blu-ray at some point.
Jeez.
It's so fucking funny. So funny. I can't wait to see that Tumblr post on my dash again. You know the one.
Yeah.
You know the one.
Yeah.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say next. So I'm gonna talk about other anime.
Okay.
But also, World Trigger's back.
Woo!
That's great. And
It's
Toei's
back
going
again.
Yeah, you can't stop it. And Toei's going, as usual, way fucking harder than anyone ever expected them to. I guess just to appease me specifically.
Hey, it works.
Yeah. You can bribe me. It's expensive, but you can.
Toei's doing it. Why can't you?
Exactly. Other studios. I'm not hard to please. Just don't do stupid shit. And I've been watching Mushoku Tensei's back. Mushoku Tensei's really good.
So I've heard.
Ignore the haters. It's a good thing. And like it has very incredible. That's what I've been reading a lot more manga lately. And like the thing I'm realizing is that most of the anime I bother watching are things that are like anime. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like it takes advantage of the medium and is like actually animated, and like it adds something to it by being animated.
Right.
You know, because so many of these fucking shows these days, they just feel like they're like half a step away from being vomics almost.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's not what I'm here for. But speaking of, actually no, I'm gonna hold off on that. I also started watching the second 86 is back. I'm concerned about 86 a little bit because I feel like the first half of the season adapted just the first novel. It was a really good adaptation, legendarily good. And the first novel was almost kind of a self-contained story in itself.
Yeah.
And now it's got to move on to other things. And this might be one of those like Promised Neverland situations where like it peaks early. I'm not saying that yet. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a fear I have.
You heard me like do the suck on my teeth kind of sound.
Yeah, and I'm like, hold your fucking horses, Kevin. I didn't even say anything about it yet.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing to like, you know, say it could end up that.
I'm just saying it's an anxiety I have where I'm like, you had a very reasonably complete thing that could be expanded upon, but you got to do it carefully, or else like it's just gonna feel kind of pointless. And I haven't watched the second episode yet. It's been out for a while, but I haven't watched the second episode yet. And the third episode's coming out today too.
You should watch
so
both.
I gotta catch up on that. I should, but then like everything's on fucking Saturday this season, so fuck it.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved the first half of the 86. So I'm curious to see how it could possibly continue from here, because it seems a little sketch to me. Could be, at least to some extent, like a Promised Neverland situation.
Yeah.
And I mean like a Promised Neverland manga situation, not an anime situation.
Yeah, the anime is its own thing.
Yeah. I'm talking about the manga where like we went like 9 out of 10 arc, 8 out of 10 arc, 7 out of 10 arc, 6 out of 10 arc. Okay. You know, like that sort of deal.
Yeah, meanwhile the anime is just like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 10.
4 is pretty fucking generous. For how much they butchered that.
God, that just reminds me of how like the final 2 episodes were so bad nobody was credited as a writer.
Nobody wanted to be.
There's another anime, I forget the name of it, but apparently the production of it was so bad that one of the animators actually hit a cry for help in the credits.
Yeah, I forget which one that was.
Like I think they gave their name as something like "I'm in hell."
Yeah. Fucking wild.
Oh, jeez.
That is some wild shit right there.
Oh man. Last year was a hell of a. Last year, not a lot of anime came out. But when anime did come out, there was certainly a lot to talk about, for better or for worse.
Are you not gonna watch the new Lupin?
I would, but now I have to pay for High Dive separately.
Oh, that's right. It left Verve.
And Part 6 is exclusive to High Dive.
Damn.
Fuck.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I'll probably get a High Dive subscription next month, because I spent a lot of money this month.
It's true.
But
you had a lot of vintage crap to buy.
Yeah. I actually did buy a second volume of the Viz is doing their re-release of Fist and North Star. I bought volume 2 of that. But yeah, next month I'll probably re-up my High Dive subscription separately, but like jeez. It sucks, because the reason why I got Verve is because I could pay for Crunchyroll and High Dive for the same price as just paying for Crunchyroll, but now I'm just paying for Verve for the same price as Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll's the only thing I buy on there. So hey, like
I watch other stuff on there. I mean, rapidly diminishing returns, because like the Cartoon Network stuff all left.
Yeah, that's on HBO Max now.
Yeah, they still got the Rooster Teeth stuff, I guess.
They do.
But, like, aside from that, it's like, man, Verve is gonna collapse at some point.
Yeah, Verve has like, they also have some stuff from like Shout Factory,
They got
like,
Curiosity Stream. That's pretty good.
oh yeah, they do. Huh.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Verve is quickly
It's gonna
becoming
collapse.
it's becoming a worse and worse deal every day.
Yeah, I am just waiting until. I feel like it's inevitable now that they're both owned by Sony that Sony's gonna force Funimation and Crunchyroll into one big thing at some point.
Finally, funny roll
again. Again. Remember, they were merged. This is so fucking funny to me that they merged and then they split up and now they're back together again. And it's like, oh my god, just fuck already. What is this fucking soap opera nonsense?
Jeez, you're right.
Hime-chan, you're the father.
What?
Exactly. I know how soap operas work. I know how soap operas work.
I love how the female anime girl mascot is the father.
That was the absurdity of it, Kevin. That's what keeps you hooked on your daytime soaps.
Exactly.
So at some point they're gonna make a big merged thing. I feel like that's got to happen. What I'm curious about is what are they gonna call it and what's the branding gonna be like? Because you've got kind of like two equally iconic brands. How do you how do you reconcile that? You know?
Yeah, because you need to be able to keep
No, go on.
Yeah. You need to be able to keep the subscription basis of both services, like the consumer basis of both services, but you also need to find a way to make sure that make sure that there's some crossover between the two of them, like there's some byplay between Funimation and Crunchyroll. Now, personally, I think they did that really well last time that they had like a partnership going on, where all the subtitled stuff went to Crunchyroll and all the dubbed stuff went to Funimation. I thought that was a good. I thought that was a good setup, personally. I guess they could do that again. Oh.
I'm just like, yeah. My thing though is like, obviously, but I'm talking about the branding. I'm talking about what is the service gonna be? Is it gonna be a Funimation service or a Crunchyroll service, or is it gonna be a new thing? You know.
I feel like it's to the point where both services need to coexist, and you can't really fold one into the other perfectly, because Funimation is the biggest, like, general anime producer in America, but Crunchyroll is...
For better or worse.
Yeah, but Crunchyroll is also the biggest in the streaming game.
Synonymous with anime for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
And, like, Funimation bought Crunchyroll for $1 billion. It is a $1 billion company.
I think you mean Sony.
No. Hold on. Got something in my mouth. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold up.
Is it a tongue? That's supposed to...
No, it's a Necco wafer.
Oh. That's supposed to be there for a limited time, but then eventually leave.
Nope. It's still there. Anyway.
Also a Necco wafer. The world's worst.
Yes.
I'm learning a lot of things about you, and it's making me rethink a lot of things.
I grew up with this shit. Fuck you.
You had a very sad childhood.
No comment. Anyway. Moving
Do you
on.
need to talk?
No.
Do you need to talk to someone?
I'm okay.
I'm just there are people who can help you with this.
I'm okay. I'm fine. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'm okay. I appreciate the concern.
Yeah, he's still crazy.
God damn. Don't listen to him.
I mean, I love and support you, is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
I'm lying to make him feel better.
What the fuck was I talking about? God. Right. Crunchyroll. Fuck. Yeah. No.
Right. Yeah.
No. Funimation themselves bought out Crunchyroll under their own, like with their own money, which
Right.
is
No,
weird because
some of my news articles.
whatever. They're both under Sony anyway, so it's the same difference, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Man, Disney announced that they're getting into anime.
Right. That's a news thing we can talk about with the news and whatnot.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. So yeah, watch new episodes of Black Rock Shooter on Disney Plus. What the fuck? Watch the sequel to Tatami Galaxy exclusively on Disney Plus.
What a sentence.
What the fuck is this timeline?
Jesus
Christ. What's your opinion on that shit?
Well, like I told you on Twitter, I feel like the data is in, and anime fans are the most ravenous consumers of streaming content. And I feel like everyone is at least investigating the possibility of getting in on that action, unless you're Peacock, because then you just suck so hard you don't know anything. But yeah.
Hi, we're Peacock. We have The Office. What else?
They're asking what else?
We have The Office.
Yawn.
Dude, like, at the very least, Paramount Plus has Nickelodeon. Come on.
I think they also got Parks and Rec.
I guess?
Which is like The Office for rednecks. It's probably pretty rude. I've never seen either show.
Me neither. I've seen like one episode of The Office, and that's because in high school we were shown an episode of The Office for like one of my classes, and I don't even remember what class it was. I think it was like the computer lab or some shit. I don't even know why. Like, it was just some weird thing that the teacher decided to show us. I'm like, cool. Yeah. I don't care.
I had to watch Foola Cooley for a class once.
Okay, that's good. I wish I had that class, because that sounds great.
Yeah. But yeah, Disney in the streaming game. I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it goes. It seems pretty limited right now.
Yeah, because, like, they only have 3 shows that they've announced. They have a Shonen Jump Plus show. They have Black Rock Shooter. They have the sequel to the Tatami Galaxy. And the 4th one is an adaptation of one of their own mobile games that they did with Aniplex.
Yeah. I feel like it kind of spun off from that, where they're like, well, we want to stream the thing that we made, but also it's kind of weird to just have one anime, so.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe, as some people have speculated, maybe Star Wars Visions played a part in them being like, maybe, otaku, you say?
Hey, possibly.
Otaku? Am I saying that right?
Otaku.
Otaku?
I'm an old taco, which means I'm an anime freak.
They'll pay us the money, yes?
Mayhaps.
No. They go where the anime is, I've heard.
If Disney does end up investing more into anime streaming and simulcasting and shit, I don't feel like it's going to be to the same degree as other people who are already knee-deep in the game. Netflix got in. There's
just too much shit they wouldn't want on their platform.
Exactly, because like
I'm kind of surprised Black Rock Shooter made it in.
Yeah, Black Rock Shooter is kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like Disney, they do have like very specific content concerns regarding Disney Plus. Like there are even a couple of movies on Disney Plus that are like slightly censored. Like the original Adventures of Babysitting came onto the service sometime in the last year, and it edits out one of the F-bombs in the movie.
Yeah.
And like they couldn't give, and because of that they couldn't give the movie its PG-13 rating on the service, so they changed it to TV PG.
Yeah.
I think the only reason they removed the F-bomb is because they made a Disney Channel remake of Adventures of Babysitting that has a G rating.
What a weird thing.
I know, it's weird. That was like the 50th Disney Channel movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And there was like this big celebration. It's like the 50th Disney Channel movie, Adventures in Babysitting.
Wow. The 50th shit I took.
Okay, to be fair, there are a couple of, like, that includes, like, a couple of animated movies, so... Yeah.
It also includes the one with the alien bubbles we never remember the name of.
The 50th shit I took. God.
Imagine just one normal-ass day, God descends from heaven, and he's like, "Congratulations, my son, you've taken your 1 millionth shit!"
You're just 86 years old? How did you get into my bathroom?
What? What? I can't evacuate my bowels without assistance. What?
God. But yeah, also, I just feel like there are so many companies that have such a large share of the market already. You know, there's Crunchyroll, Netflix, Funimation, and some other
Amazon when they feel like it.
Amazon's trying. They've been trying for a while.
It's so half-hearted.
They got a couple of things.
Every now and again they'll get something and it's like, oh right, they exist.
Yeah.
Remember when they got like Psycho Pass Season 3 and Blade of the Immortal, and I was like, oh, I guess they exist.
It worked. Remember when they had Made in Abyss?
No, I didn't watch that because they was on there.
Yeah.
That was the anime strike days.
That's on High Dive now. Complete with the new movie.
One thing you mentioned on Twitter is that Disney needs to knock it the fuck off with the dub titles if they want to get into this market.
Yeah, because that's a big issue. A lot of people watch this stuff in Japanese with subtitles, and one of my biggest issues with Star Wars Visions was it does not have dedicated subtitles for the Japanese track. It's just English SGH for the English dub. Which
it's not good enough!
The English dub is fine, don't get me wrong, but it's not... But, like, there's a distinct difference between... like the presentation and the writing of an English dub versus the Japanese version. Changes are going to be made.
Dub titles bad.
Dub titles are bad, yeah. So if Disney wants to get into this game, they got to dedicate work and time to making good subtitles for the Japanese version on top of producing
wants to get
English
in the
dubs.
game, you got to play by the rules.
Exactly. The anime industry has very specific guidelines to how things are done. Consumers are used to things being done a certain way. If you don't follow that, you're not gonna, get people to your service.
You break the rules, you hear the sound of a baseball bat dragging across the concrete.
Yeah. The reason why anime strikes sucked so bad, and the reason why nobody went for that service, is because it wasn't bundled in with Amazon Prime. It was a separate thing on top of Amazon Prime. Nobody wanted to pay for two things just so that they could watch one of them.
Yep.
So Anime Strike failed. Fucking God, don't get me started on Daisuke. Holy shit!
It means love. As in we love to shit on it.
It means love, but I certainly wasn't feeling it.
Baby, don't hurt us no more.
The reason why services like... The reason why Netflix... The reason why people go to Netflix is because everyone already has Netflix, but they have actual subtitles. Sometimes the subtitles aren't the best, but they're functional at least, and they'll get you, you can understand what's going on in the story, at the very least.
Remember when M3 The Dark Metal was exclusive to Daisuke?
Oh my god.
Why is no one watching this? I don't know, maybe because it's exclusive to Daisuke.
God, I remember when that came out. Oh god. I think Discotech has that now? I think?
Probably. I don't know. I know who doesn't have it, and that's Daisuke.
Daisuke doesn't exist.
Daisuke don't got shit. Nobody got Daisuke because they ain't no Daisuke to get.
God, one of the worst things about Daisuke is that they almost had a good thing going when they started adding on older catalog titles. They had Aikatsu. They had Aikatsu and like Gao Gaigar.
Yeah.
But they only had them for like 3 months each before they were dropped from the service. Like they didn't pay to have them for a long period of time. It's like, hey, it's on here for 3 months and then it's gone. Bye.
And now you got stuff like Retro Crush, which I guess fills that niche.
Retro Crush is at least fucking free.
Oh yeah, it is. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Daisuke had to pay for shit.
You know what I feel like if Verve is going to survive, you know what I feel like I feel like the future of Verve is being a conglomerate of like all these smaller services that people have a hard time justifying on their own. Like I would love a subscription to Shudder. You know what Shudder is?
Yeah,
But like it's just one of those things where I'm like, am I gonna get enough use out of this to really justify it? I don't fucking like. I feel like there's a lot of smaller services like that could really use like a bundle deal, and I feel like Verve might survive if like they bundle all the Curiosity streams and the Shudders and the Rooster Teeth Firsts and all that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think that would really give Verve the extra value and variety it's missing now that it doesn't have either Funimation or High Dive on it.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a good idea.
And it may at some point in the future not have Crunchyroll on it either.
Oh, that's a good...
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I mean, Verve is a Crunchyroll thing anyway, so...
But now Crunchyroll, like, no, it was an Elation thing is the problem, and now they're not owned by Elation.
No, Verve was like...
I know it says buy Crunchyroll, but it's an Elation thing.
Okay.
It's an Elation media service.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna yell at you over that. You should know everything.
I just go by what it says when I boot up the app.
Companies lie to you, Kevin.
I get that. I understand.
Okay. You know, Crunchyroll's the more recognizable name, so they're gonna say
it
that.
is.
They're gonna be like, hey, it's by the Crunchyroll people. It's the thing. Yeah, Miles himself coded this. You know,
Miles himself.
That's why it's so shitty, because Miles coded it.
Oh God. Woo.
But yeah, the Streaming Wars, Part 2. Disney invades.
The return of the mouse.
The Empire strikes back.
God. Perfect.
We'll see where that goes. Keep you all updated on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we've been up to.
Yeah. I think that'll do it. What?
For this, that'll do it for this segment.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go Reddit diving.
We'll see you next time. On the next segment. I mean, we're not.
Whoa!
We're not ending the episode. I'm sorry.
Fucking chill out, Jesus.
Yeah. Sorry.
And we'll see you on the next segment of the Baka Gaijin Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Baka Gaijin Show. You never feel more alive than when you're doing a Reddit dive.
Woo! It's been a while.
It's been a while. A lot of there's been a lot of buildup in the pipes, if you get my drift.
So gross.
I meant like actual pipes.
Yeah, I know. The in the soup pipe.
Yeah. The soup tubes are clogged.
Soup tubes.
All these Reddit posts coming down to soup tubes.
So, what's our first Reddit story today, Zekel, buddy old pal?
Let's start with a large Tifu.
Oh, yeah. I want to see how badly this guy fucked up. Let's go. Guy or girl or person.
The L stands for the L they took when they fucked up. Today I fucked up by accidentally poisoning my roommate with horse laxatives.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's god. All right, let's go. Okay.
This actually happened today for once, although this post is from 3 days ago.
Oh my god.
Took a couple hours of panicking before it actually started to be funny, although my roommate may still disagree.
Yeah, I think they would.
Setting the scene. I'm an equine vet student living with my roommate, a forensic biology master's student. I grew up with horses, so I have lots of friends in the equine world and my program focus means that I get to offer a unique perspective and offering some help where I can for non-life-threatening issues, of course. I always recommend speaking to an actual vet as well, since I can only offer so much.
Okay.
Anyways, a friend of mine who lives nearby owns a senior horse who has recently developed bouts of bowel issues, as elderly individuals tend to do. She spoke to her vet about wanting to prevent colic. That's when a horse gets a stomach ache and can't shit and then dies.
Yeah.
So her vet prescribed an oral medication, laxative for her horse, to help prevent the constipation and subsequent colic. The problem is that her horse is a pretty big boy and not a fan of taking oral medication. Even in his old age, can be a formidable opponent to try to wrangle with.
Yeah, some horses are very stubborn in that regard.
My friend had approached me for advice, and I offered to essentially hide the medication in homemade horse treats, since it was prescribed in powdered form. A lot of horses are...
And I know exactly where this is going now.
A lot of horses are extremely sensitive to anything that tastes even remotely like medication, so hiding the meds in a sweet and palatable treat would be a surefire way to get them into his system when they were needed. Since I couldn't risk essentially ruining the meds by actually baking them, I settled on making no-bake apple cinnamon clusters. At this point in the story, it's important to mention a few things regarding my roommate. Firstly, he's my ex-fiancé.
Oh.
We're still on good terms, we're just better as friends.
Okay, fair.
So he knows I love to bake, and we typically have an equal use policy when it comes to food, supplies, etc., because we never got out of the habit.
Oh, no.
Secondly, he has his own room now that we're not together anymore, and since his schedule mostly involves him studying or working during the morning, and then being gone for the better part of the afternoon for his classes or lab work, he typically isn't in the apartment during the time I was doing this, and I wouldn't have even known he was home. So I finished making about 50 of these poop power horse treats and left them on a tray in the fridge to firm up. Like I said previously, I had no reason to suspect my roommate wouldn't be out of the house, so I left to quickly go take care of some things back on campus, figuring I'd be back and have already given my friend the treats well before my roommate got done with his afternoon classes. It was about an hour later when I got a text from him. Hey, I hope you don't mind. I had a few of the cookies you left in the fridge, and I just wanted to let you know they were super good. I miss your cooking. Cookies? I said.
Oh.
Yeah, the cinnamon ones. Y'all, I panicked. I called him and asked how many he ate, and he's like, like 3. And essentially had to tell him that he just ate cookies containing what is, in short prescription, horse laxatives, and that he needed to call poison control right now. Understandably, he freaked out, got pissed, and asked why they were even in the fridge to begin with, then hung up and called poison control. I don't even want to imagine how that conversation went. But based on the type and amount of laxatives I put in the batch and how many cookies were made from it, the concentration was low enough that he won't have any serious effects aside from the cookie's intended purpose. Obviously, I feel terrible because I can't even be in the apartment right now, so it's unbelievably fucking bad, but on the bright side, he'll be fine in a few hours. Healthy as a horse, you could say. That's some good classic humor. That's an old school joke.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a pretty big fuck up. That's a pretty sizable fuck up there.
Obligatory edit because this post blew up.
Of course.
The horse treats have been delivered to their intended recipient, who thought this was hilarious. And fucking horses are assholes. And my roommate is doing a lot better now, though he still doesn't find the situation very funny. I tried to tell him some horse jokes to make him feel better, but he was still pretty bucking mad.
God fucking damn it!
Get off the stage!
Boo! Boo!
What is this amateur stand-up? Jesus Christ. Well, you know what they say. You can lead a horse to the laxative cookies, but you can't stop your roommate from eating them before you get there. Waka waka.
God, fuck.
What are you doing being a veterinarian? Do some stand-up, Jesus. That's the real message here.
God damn it.
Waka waka, they'll be there all week.
Okay, marvelous. We're off to a rip-roaring start.
It's great.
It's perfect. So, what you got next?
Let's see here.
Yeah, no, I do feel bad for, like, there was not a way that you could have, like, I'm not sure how you could have avoided that particular situation.
I mean, if it was me, I probably would have left a note.
I would have left an, yeah, that would have been a good idea. It's like, these have horse laxatives, don't eat them.
Just in fucking...
It's like, don't eat these unless you really, really want to shit your brains out tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do some itas.
Ah. Armchair psychology time, yay!
Yes, we know much about the human brain. We are experts in our field.
We also have brains.
That's true. So I'm basically an expert.
Exactly.
Am I the asshole for blocking in an Uber delivery driver?
Probably, but let's see.
So, pretty much, I live in San Francisco in one of the busiest streets, aka Fell Street on Hayes Valley, if anyone knows where that is. It's an uphill incline, and I was returning from work, which means it's a rush hour, and the street is crowded with cars. I live in a house that has a driveway, and when I pulled in to park, to my surprise, there was a car in the driveway. I had to park my car in the middle of the lane while people honked at me and started walking up to the car in my driveway. I started talking to the guy and told him he had to move out of the driveway because, first of all, it's my driveway, and street parking is impossible on this street, and second of all, it's my fucking driveway! He pretty much said that he's waiting for a person to pick up their meal and didn't want to find street parking. He also told me he has a delivery like 2 streets over afterward that he's going to leave his car here until he's done. At this point, I was bewildered by his attitude and how he literally would not leave, so I decided to just park in front of the driveway entrance and leave my car there. And then he started screaming at me to move my car because I was blocking his car, and I replied, well, you're going to have to wait till I do errands or leave for work tomorrow. He started to call the police on me for blocking my own driveway. No, it was an asshole move, but I think it's pretty justified.
I mean, it is his driveway.
It's his fucking driveway.
It's his fucking driveway!
Edit 1. I didn't think y'all wanted an update afterward, but pretty much he called the cops on me. This was around 5 or 6 p.m.-ish. It was a non-emergency call during traffic hours, so the guy was stuck in the driveway until like 8 p.m. Police have excellent response time. The cops asked me to move my car, and I replied with only if he gets towed or a ticket, because he really had the audacity to pull this shit. So the cops talked to him, and he ended up I think, getting a ticket, and he was finally gone by like 9 p.m. So yes, he was stuck in my driveway for a good 4 hours. I hope he enjoyed the extra $900 I paid for this spot. That's literally the reason I got so mad. Bay Area prices are insane, and it's a large part of my check to park here.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes it... Okay. Alright.
Edit 2. Since some people are worried about the fine cost, it's about $128 for the ticket. Yeah, a lot of money. Could have been avoided if you listened to me, or also not called the cops on himself. Also, as an Edit 1, I pay a lot more for that parking space. I've dealt with drivers in the past using my parking spot to drop off deliveries, and they're usually polite and understanding. This dude was on something. So it was really just his attitude and the sheer audacity.
So, like, 1, it's his parking space. 2, he pays for the parking space. Mm-hmm. And 3, yeah, other guy was kind of being a massive dickhole. I'd probably say not the asshole, I guess.
Yeah. I like top comment. Not the asshole, but you are the asshole for not recording it. You've denied us the entertainment of watching this asshole fuming in your driveway because he was being a dick.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. I like that one.
Yep. Am I the asshole for getting my little sister a toy marketed for dogs?
Hold up. I have no idea where this is going to go. Let's see.
My dad and his wife recently lost custody of the poster is a 26-year-old female. My little sister, 8-year-old female. I'm taking care of her now. My sister has severe anxiety that gets 10 times worse at bedtime, and she can't sleep without someone lying down with her. I've tried transitioning her to sleeping on her own, but nothing worked. I noticed she'd put her head down my chest to hear a heartbeat, so I looked up stuffed animals with heartbeat on Amazon and got a little puppy with a heartbeat and a heat pack. She loves that puppy. It's the only way I can get her to sleep on her own at night. My friend is having a similar issue with her toddler, and I told her about my sister's stuffed puppy and how much she loves it. She looked at me like I was crazy and asked if I was talking about the stuffed animal meant for dogs. I'm going to be honest, I didn't look into who it was marketed towards. I just picked the first stuffed animal with a heartbeat and good reviews. I looked at the order and saw it is marketed towards dogs. My friend laid into me for getting my sister a toy marketed for puppies and not taking it from her after finding out it was marketed towards puppies, but in my opinion, the toy helped, and my sister loves it. I don't see why it's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, you're not the asshole at all. Your friend's the fucking asshole for getting all bent out of shape over it works! She likes it! It helps! Who gives a shit?
Yep.
Come on!
Top comment. Not the asshole. If it's safe for dogs, it's safe for kids. Who cares if the toy was marketed for dogs? My dog owns a tennis racket and a bucket of tennis balls, which were marketed for humans. He doesn't care, and neither should you. I encourage you to shop at Chewy's for your friend's Christmas gift.
Perfect response. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like, if like, dog toys are specifically designed because, like, dogs put shit in their mouths, because that's the only way that they can grab anything.
Yeah.
So, if it's safe for dogs, it's probably safe for your kid, too. And, like, it solved the issue. And the kid loves the toy, so, like, who cares as long as the kid likes it, and it solved the issue. At that point, nobody should be angry, because as long as it works, it works.
Yeah, I hate when people get angry for arbitrary bullshit like this, which is, no logical or rational reasoning, just because, my mom is like this a lot. Just a lot of shit she gets mad about is just, like, on principle rather than for any rational reason.
Yeah.
My voice cracked there, and it shouldn't have. I'm 27.
Bro, my voice cracks all the time.
Yep. Let's take a break and go back. Oh, hold on. What? What? Okay, one sec. Kevin, can you pause? I gotta go. One sec.
All right. Hold up a second, people.
Sorry about that. I had an interruption that could have very easily been a text message.
Parents, am I right?
Yeah, so she's leaving. She's leaving for the night, and she put in a lasagna for us, and she wanted me to set an alarm, and I'm like, that could have been a text message. I was doing a show.
Delicious lasagna.
Yeah, so I gotta set an alarm for, like, don't worry, it's like for like 2 hours from now.
Okay.
Lasagna takes a while to cook. Did you know that?
Yeah, we'll be done by with the podcast by then.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, timer set. Lasagna baking. Next Reddit post. Let's take a bit of a break and go back to a Tifu. This is a medium Tifu.
Okay, all right. I mean, so, like, the last time we had a medium Tifu, it ended up turning into an Aita, so...
Yeah, let's see. Today, I fucked up by not knowing the shoe size of my sex doll.
What?
He says, today I fucked up by not knowing the shoe size of my sex doll.
You have a sex doll?
It wears shoes?
It wears shoes? Alright. Let's see where it goes.
It's like, a few months ago, me and my girlfriend bought one of those high-quality, high-priced real sex dolls. They're made with a steel skeleton and soft tissue underneath, silicone or TPE. The TPE is really sensitive though, so you're supposed to store the doll standing or at best hanging. You would have to separate the head and screw a hook onto the neck, which is pretty creepy. Anyway, in order for the tissue to not deform. After a while, the skeleton pushed through the feet of my doll, so I decided to buy shoes for her. Just some cheap sneakers so that the heels wouldn't be standing hard ground on the entire time. It isn't in use, but on soft soles to stop them from getting more broken.
Alright.
Nothing's more unattractive than having a metal pole shoot through your leg, I guess. I measured the length of her feet and went to a local shoe store, expecting to find a tool that can translate length into an actual shoe size. I've seen such tools even at this particular shop, although that was many years ago, so I thought that would do it, but as you might guess, I was wrong. No such tool in sight. Went to the cashier, this old lady, maybe at the end of her
no.
50s. Maybe at the end of her 50s, asked her about that. No, we don't have such things here, but why would you need it? At that moment, I should have turned around and left, but I thought I could handle this discreetly. Yeah, well, I need to buy shoes for, my niece. So you know her shoe size, don't you? No, but I do know how long her feet are. It's 21 centimeters. That's clearly a children's size. How old is she? If you've never measured your feet, be aware that 21 centimeters is ridiculously short for a grown woman's feet.
Yeah.
That's like shoe size 35 or something, which I know now, but didn't at the moment. The doll, however, is 1.67 meters tall, so what should I tell her? Well, she's 14? I made up a fake story about my niece being for a visit and her shoes broke down or something.
No.
I went to buy new ones. The cashier got increasingly suspicious. Well, just look up the size of the shoes that broke down. Yeah, well, that's sound advice, but I'm already here, so why don't you call her or her parents then? Also, why would you measure the length of her feet but not look up the actual size of the shoes? In my mind, I started to realize that this whole situation must have looked like from her eyes, but I also didn't want to tell her the truth in case she might recognize me. Our city isn't that big, and basically everybody knows each other, so I had to back down and tell her that I didn't have my phone with me, thanked her for her time, and ran home. I'm really glad she didn't call the police on me. I googled the conversion at home and went back the next day to buy shoes the right size. Luckily, it was a different cashier.
That could have gone so much worse.
TLDR, I wanted to buy shoes for a sex doll and looked like I kidnapped a little girl.
That's so
By
bad.
the way, please say hi if you ever read this r/.
Holy shit. That's bad. Oh my god. It could have gotten much worse. It could have been far worse. That was still pretty fucking bad though. Like, dude,
Edit 1. People ask me why I would need a sex doll if I have a girlfriend. I mainly use it when my girlfriend's not home. This was sort of a compromise because I always wanted a threesome and she couldn't imagine showing me with another person. Also, my girlfriend's not always in the mood. Not nearly as much as I am. And indeed, sometimes she gets off watching me use the doll.
Hey, works for everybody.
Edit 2. The doll is shaped like a woman, not a child. I don't know why people expect anything else. I posted pictures of it.
I'm not putting pictures in the video.
That's okay. I don't even know where they are anyway. I think they're on his profile. I don't know.
They might be. I'm still not putting them in here.
Yep. So yeah, that was kind of a fuck up. I'd say medium fuck up's pretty accurate.
Yeah, medium fuck up. Could have been a lot worse. Definitely could have handled the situation better.
Nobody's any worse for the wear, but it was just really awkward. Nobody was left shitting for days.
Yeah, not quite as much horseplay as as earlier, but
Waka waka.
I'll be here all week.
All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to help with brother-in-law's house?
All right. Depends on how much of a dickhole the brother is. Let's see.
I'm a pretty handy guy. My dad had a home remodeling business, and I worked for him all through high school and college, and even some after that, when he was really busy. My wife and I basically renovated our whole house during lockdown. My wife has a very bad habit of volunteering me to help people without asking me first. We have fought over this in the past, and I've told her I will not do it in the future. My wife sells real estate, and she'd been looking for a house for her brother Paul and his family. The housing market here is insane, so finding something that they can afford has been a real challenge. In late August, my wife announced that she finally found a place and wanted me to take a look. My wife Susan talks about what a great deal the house is because it just needs a little work. This house is a mess. There's a ton of work, including redoing the whole kitchen and bathrooms, fixing the drywall, and a lot more. I asked him who he was going to get to do the work, thinking I could recommend some guys that used to work with my dad. Susan and Paul look at each other, and she says she is sure the two of you can handle it. Well, first of all, me and him implies me, as Paul has no home improvement skills at all, and I just said, no way. Paul asked me what I meant, and I told him there was a ton of work that needed to be done, and I was not signing on for it. I'm not spending every weekend for months working on someone else's house. Susan and I argue about it, but I refuse to budge. Susan says, fine. If I won't help, that she and Paul will do it themselves. I should say that while Susan did help in our renovations, particularly with things like painting, I did the bulk of the work. I know my wife, and I know she's thinking that I'm going to end up giving in and helping. I warn her that I mean it. I'm not helping. She says she and Paul can do it, and Paul buys the house. Well, that went about as I expected, meaning very badly. They estimated it would take about 2 months to make the house livable for enough of the family to move in. 6 weeks later, they have made very little progress on the meat of the house. My wife is getting more and more irritated at me. I never bring up the house, and I refuse to engage when Susan brings it up. I'm taking next week off of work and told Susan that I would take care of our house and kids. Typically, we split up chores while I was off. She hit the roof. She told me if I was off for a week, I should be helping with her brother's house. She brought up that they had 2 weeks to make it livable, or he was going to have to pay both the mortgage and rent for his apartment, and he can't afford that. I replied that I told her from the beginning that I was not helping, and I meant it. My wife is now not speaking to me. According to her, I hate her family. This is a hill I'm willing to die on, but I know her brother is the one that's going to get hurt. Am I the asshole for refusing to help?
Man, we are getting a whole lot of not the assholes today. Oh boy. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
She automatically volunteered him for the work without talking to him. That's one thing already. Automatically volunteering him without his knowledge or consent. 2, he is under no obligation to do this. This is entirely something that, like, you know, they could have avoided just by not buying the house and finding something different. I know that, like, if anybody understands how hard it is to find a place to live, it's probably me.
Yeah.
It's probably me. But it is worth it to wait and find something better instead of just settling for garbage.
Yeah.
You will be so much better off waiting and trying to find the right place rather than just settling for something just because, oh, it's cheap and it only needs a little bit of work. That little bit of work is a lot more than you think it is a lot of the time. And in this case, it was a lot of work, actually, like most of the house needed work.
And also, if you have no home improvement skills, don't buy houses that need work.
Exactly. Like, if you yourself are not willing to do it, and you don't have the money to hire other people to do it for you, don't buy the goddamn house. They went ahead and bought it anyway. That's on them. That is entirely on them. And it is not on OP for not wanting to help, you know, renovate the house, because he makes a good point. That's weeks, if not months on end, he's going to have to spend on that frickin' house just to get it in working order. And he is absolutely correct for, you know, prioritizing his own time and his own family instead of, you know, going along with this bullshit that could have been avoided just by not buying the goddamn house.
Nope. He made his position clear. He reiterated it over and over again, and they went ahead and did it anyway. It was a toxic move on their part to try to coerce him into helping when he said he didn't want to, and now they're suffering the consequences for it. You know. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yep. I don't feel bad for the other two in this situation. This is entirely bullshit of their own making. OP is in the clear. OP did everything correct.
Top comment. My wife has a very bad habit of volunteering me to help people without asking me. Yeah, not the asshole,
yeah.
OP. Your wife does not seem to respect you. All you're doing is respecting yourself.
Yeah, pretty much, because, like, that's something I see a lot in a lot of different relationships. It's like, you know, one person will like automatically volunteer the other person to do stuff, even though the other person is clearly not comfortable with it, and there's always going to come, like, some kind of conflict in that regard. Like, God fucking damn it. A good relationship is built on communication, and there was no communication here. No good communication, anyway. And, God. I hope it goes... I hope things shake out fine in the end, but if shit breaks down because of this, then, like, it's not OP's fault.
Yeah, I feel like the aftermath might be messy, but he stuck to his guns, and I can't blame him for that.
Yeah, I respect him for sticking to his guns there.
Don't give in to toxic assholes.
I have learned that the hard way.
Yep.
Whew. I feel
Let's
for
see.
you, OP. I feel for you.
All right, let's see. This one, okay. Am I the ass? Hold on, I gotta wait for it to load.
Okay.
Okay. Am I the asshole for locking myself and my newborn in the guest bedroom so that I could finally spend time with her away from my wife?
Huh. Hmm. Uh. Hmm.
You want some more details?
I might need more details.
Hello, Reddit. My daughter is 2 weeks old. I have barely held her since she was born. My wife constantly has her. When I do get to hold her, my wife just starts crying hysterically until I give her back.
Oh.
I asked her why, and she said she was anxious that something would happen to our daughter, and that's why she felt the need to hold her so close.
Okay, yeah, I know where this is going. Fuck.
No matter how much I tried to reassure her, she just would not let up. I practically begged her to just let me hold her so my wife could shower, eat, care for herself. Nothing worked. I felt like I was losing precious bonding time with my daughter, so I did what I had to do. My wife fell asleep on the sofa with our child. I took her, went to the guest bedroom, and locked the door. My wife woke up shortly after, very upset, of course, that our daughter wasn't with her. She stood in the guest room and begged me to open the door. She was crying, kicking, and screaming. I didn't open it, though, and we spent a good couple hours with our daughter in there. Apparently, my wife had called her mother, because I got a call from my mother-in-law cussing me out, saying how I shouldn't take a newborn from her mother, and things like that. My wife has been furious with me and won't speak, and I'm just so frustrated because I just wanted to spend quality time with my child, but maybe this wasn't the way to do it. Am I the asshole?
Oh my god. So, like, I get it.
Let me read top comment. Let's get some more context.
Please.
Whoa, Jesus Christ, your wife needs help ASAP from an actual therapist or doctor, not you. You both need to come up with coping strategies. If she has postpartum depression or severe anxiety, you should not antagonize her by locking yourself in a room with your child. Please get some help and eyes on the situation immediately. I'm removing my "you're the asshole" from this post because that's just not helpful. This was never about assholes, and I shouldn't have made a judgment.
Yeah. Jeez. Like, Yeah, the wife definitely has some issues here that she needs to work through with a therapist. Like, actually, go to therapy and talk about this shit, get it worked out. But at the same time, I can't... And while I understand the desire to want to, spend more time with your child one-on-one and actually, be a parent to them, physical contact and shit like that, I get that. That probably was the dumb decision to make, to take the kid while your wife was sleeping and lock yourself and the kid in a room. Like, that was just a really, really stupid. You're not an asshole, but you are kind of stupid.
What I find interesting about this thread is that the comment section was a war zone.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I can see this sparking a lot of debate.
Yeah, there's a lot of people being like, I had bad postpartum anxiety. It was hard to cope with. If someone did this to me, I would have spiraled. OP is the asshole and heartless and selfish. And then there was someone replying, OP is a new father and basically told by his wife he doesn't get to hold his own child. As this sub so often points out, your illness does not justify asshole behavior. In my opinion, this is a no assholes here or an everyone sucks here, depending on how you want to look at it. Two new parents, both probably tired after 2 weeks of no sleep and probably completely unreasonable.
Yeah, I wouldn't say everyone sucks, but I will say everything about this sucks.
Yeah. This, to me, is just one of those... It's one of those complicated, nobody's really in the wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a shitty situation.
Yeah, nobody was right, nobody was wrong. It was just bad all around. It was a no-win situation for anybody, and it's a situation where if I was in this, if I was there, I don't know what I would have done there. Because
I'm gonna offer a controversial opinion. I think I would have kept the door locked because I know it's a serious thing, but like. I think someone in that state is a danger to the child.
Fair enough.
I know it's a danger to remove the child from them, but I also think they are like, first of all, the red flag that we didn't point out here is the fact that she fell asleep on the couch with a baby.
True.
That's a no. You don't do that. Babies get suffocated that way.
True. That is somewhat dangerous, and it's probably better if the child was placed into a crib or something elsewhere, where there's like where there's like barriers so that the kid doesn't fall out.
Yeah. Like, I think the child, I know, yeah, I understand mama wants baby or whatever, but like, in that state, I feel like she was more a danger to the child, and I think like he was right to take her from him, take the baby from her.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think it helped the situation, but I think it was necessary, and I think now they need to get actual help.
That's fair. Yeah, I disagree with the locking the door part, but definitely.
Well, because I'm just saying, if you open the door, I don't think anything good is going to happen there.
True.
I don't like that is not a. I'm not trying to get into hysterical women.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm not trying to. I'm like, this is like an actual psychosis issue.
It is.
Like, I don't think you should trust. I don't think a newborn. You should trust someone like that with a newborn. I think they need help first. It's complicated, sure, but like, I think my top, if I was in this situation, I think my top priority would be to get the fragile baby away from the person undergoing some kind of psychosis, because I don't think that's safe for probably either of them.
Yeah.
So I'm almost fully not the asshole in this, because I'm just like, I think he probably could have done it smarter, but I think separating them was the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's my thing. He could have been much smarter and more strategic about this, but ultimately, I don't think he was necessarily in the wrong here, because he just wants to hold his goddamn kid. Come on!
I think he's a new parent, and I think he's tired, and I think he probably didn't recognize what this really was.
Yeah.
And I think the higher rated comments are just saying, no judgment, this is just an emergency and you need to get help now.
Yeah. And they're right.
So you can think about this any way you want, but I think no judgment is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
even though the bot flagged it as asshole, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna judge anybody here, because the whole thing just sucked, man. The wife was going through it. The husband was going through it. The kid's just kind of there.
And babies are just like weird flesh dolls.
So yeah. This just sucked. God. These are like the worst ones, because you just come out of it feeling,
They're also the ones I find most interesting, though, because they break the scale. Where it's just
that is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
They subvert your expectations, Kevin.
God, will you stop that? You know how much that phrase has been cursed for me now.
But they do. It's a break in the formula.
Fuck you, Rian Johnson! You ruined Star Wars.
It's a break in the formula.
Okay, J.J. Abrams ruined it first, but,
Kathleen Kennedy ruined it before him.
Ah, good point. We're getting to the root of the issue.
Yep. It's all women's fault.
Didn't you just get done with saying?
Fine. It's not a... Look. It's not a women thing. It's a Kathleen Kennedy is stupid thing.
Yes. That woman specifically.
That specific woman is very stupid. Anyway, am I the asshole for what?
Did I ever tell you about how George Lucas's ex-wife and the original editor for Star Wars: A New Hope actually did like a foreword for like a George Lucas biography or something, and basically the entire foreword was basically like, I don't know what the fuck Kathleen Kennedy is doing. She doesn't understand Star Wars, and the sequel trilogy is shit.
Yeah. Yep, you told me.
Dude, when Marsha Lucas herself, the person who is arguably more responsible for making A New Hope good than George, says that the sequel trilogy is shit, the sequel trilogy is shit.
Yep.
I like to think she's probably second to George Lucas in terms of being an authority on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got anything else?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Let's see here. Let me just load that up. Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my seat on a flight due to a person who has a guide dog and is visiting a family member in hospital due to the fact that I have a dog allergy?
Let's see where this goes.
I won't be going into specifics since I'd rather avoid being identified. I have a severe dog allergy. I can have varying levels of severity when it comes to my reactions when I'm exposed to dogs. But being in a closed environment with a dog is out of the question. Earlier today, I was boarding my flight with my friends since we're all going on a vacay together.
Yeah, boy!
Vacation! Selfies! As I'm boarding, I find that one of the passengers is boarding with a golden retriever, with a guide dog vest on it. I want to make it clear, I'm not questioning whether this was a guide dog or not. This was also a fairly small plane, since the flight would only take around an hour. Like I mentioned, I cannot be in a confined space with a dog. I told one of the flight attendants my concerns, since I could have potentially ended up in a hospital if I had to fly with this dog. The flight attendant informed the woman with the dog, who goes into hysterics, saying that she's visiting a sick family member and can't afford to miss this flight. I'm not sure how sick the family member was in question. The flight attendant asked if I'd be willing to miss this flight and catch the next one that would be leaving in around 2 hours. I was offered a seat in first class if I was willing to do this. I said that unfortunately I wouldn't be able to do this since I'd paid for my vacation. I don't know why that's relevant, but she wrote it, so I'm just gonna, whatever. Due to the size of the plane, the dog would not be able to go on the hold. The woman insulted my character, saying I was heartless for putting my vacation over her sick family member. I got on the plane and sat with my friends. As I did this, a woman in a nearby seat told me that she wanted to inform me that I am the biggest bitch that she's ever met. I didn't respond since I didn't want to cause a confrontation. My friends didn't say I was in the wrong, but have kept making sarcastic jokes about the situation. Am I the asshole?
You could have gone on the other flight.
Top comment. You're the asshole for 4 reasons.
Oh boy. Woo!
Number 1. Both you and the woman paid for your spot on the flight. You are no more entitled to your seat than she is to hers.
Correct.
Number 2. The airline offered you a perfectly reasonable accommodation for a 2-hour delay.
Yep.
Number 3. Assuming the woman is sincere, her need to be on that flight was greater than yours.
Yeah,
Number 4.
You're just on vacation. She's trying to get to a friggin' family member's whatever the hell. Like, come on, man.
Number 4. When you have an allergy of that severity, you should be informing the airline beforehand. It would have been so easy to be nice here and cost you almost nothing.
Yeah, because like if you're gonna have that kind of an allergy, you need to tell someone at the airport so that they can get you onto a plane with that is not going to have a dog in, you know, in the main area. Like, they can accommodate you if you tell them well enough in advance. You can't just get onto a plane, then suddenly have a dog come on and then be like, excuse me, I have an allergy. Can we stop literally the entire flight so that I can kick this
You are
person
ruining
off?
my vacay.
My vacay. No one cares about your fucking vacation, bitch.
Someone in the comments was like, I've had to do this very thing before. I'm also ridiculously allergic to dogs. What I've done is book my ticket very early and call the airline to speak to someone directly to tell them I have a medical accommodation, that I need to be on a flight with no animals. If someone with an animal is already booked, I'm shut out of luck. But if I'm first, anyone who tries to book with a dog after me will end up not being able to book that flight. I know how this works. I've gotten an official email from the airline and brought the notice to the gate with me. Once the airline screwed up and booked someone with a dog and they weren't allowed on the plane. I felt bad, but I'm not willing to stop breathing just because the airline fucked up. If your allergy is also bad enough, your doctor or allergist should be willing to write an official letter of medical exemption for this kind of situation as well.
Yep.
Yeah, like, that's the easy, like, even if it was, the other thing that drives me nuts is that She's like, I couldn't do that because I paid for my vacation. What does that have to? It's a 2-hour delay. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Your vacation is like what, a few days? 2 hours isn't gonna fucking ruin your vacation. Get over yourself.
And then you get to be in first class.
Dude, I lost an entire day for my vacation, and you don't see me crying about it.
I mean, you did kind of complain a lot.
Yeah, but at the very least, I wasn't like, oh, this ruined my vacation, so I lost 1 day. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
I still had a good time. Christ.
I'm just saying
You
made
would
an
have
angry
lost 2 hours.
You made an angry Twitter thread. I'm just saying.
Okay, like... Okay, yeah. But I handled it better than this bitch.
Yeah. To be fair, there wasn't really another party in your situation.
Yeah, no, Greyhound just fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, like it would have like I can't. This person is so vapid, you know. Like, just take the 2 hours, do your first class flight, your free first class, not free, but like your free upgrade to first class.
But Zeke, you don't understand. She paid for her vacation.
Oh, you're right. That explains everything, really. Her logic is airtight.
Man, fuck this person.
You are the asshole.
For 4 reasons.
Yep.
That's refreshing. Finally getting somebody who actually is the asshole.
Yep.
It's like,
It's
yeah,
nice.
I could call people terrible.
Yeah, there are jerks in the world.
I get to judge people. Yay!
Hooray!
Yeah. I'm a good person, I swear.
You want another one about babies?
Oh god, here we go. Yeah, let's go.
Am I the asshole for not cleaning up my daughter's poop?
Probably, but we'll see how this goes.
I, 29-year-old female, have always had a tough time dealing with anything that seems gross. When I was a kid, I had a dog that crapped in the house.
Okay. Yeah, the very fact that you're taking this particular tone tells me probably the asshole.
We had a dog that crapped in the house on very rare occasions, and I would literally gag and almost vomit when cleaning it up. Anything that gives off a strong putrid smell makes my eyes water and throws me a retching fit. I love kids, I do really well with them, but because of my aversion to bad smells, and knowing that gross scenarios are common, especially amongst young children, I had resigned to the idea of probably not ever having any of my own. My husband, 31M, and I married 2 years ago. I have always been upfront with him about my stance on having children, and we talked about it plenty of times before getting married. My husband is very much a family man, and he assured me that if we did have kids, he would have no issue being the one to deal with poopy diapers and things of that nature. After thinking about his offer, I agreed. Let me just say, I absolutely love my daughter to pieces. She brings so much joy into my life, and she makes me smile and laugh every single day. I change all of her pee diapers. I can handle spit up. I can do all her laundry and bottle cleaning. The one thing I will not do is change her poopy diapers, as per my agreement with my hubby. The other night, she had a huge explosion around 2 a.m. I heard her crying on the baby monitor, and I went to check on her. It had gone all the way up her back and into her hair.
Ooh.
The mattress cover and the mattress itself was also soiled. I immediately started getting dizzy, and my eyes began to burn, so I ran and got my hubby. After he got her cleaned up, I worked on soothing her and getting her back to sleep. Meanwhile, my husband began to clean her crib, and eventually I also fell asleep. The next morning, hubby was in a really sour mood. I asked him what was wrong, and he said that he slept horribly because of the situation from the night before. He then went on a tangent and accused me of not helping enough, and he said that he was sick of being on poop duty. I reminded him of our agreement and that I do plenty of other things in regards to taking care of our daughter. We are both still on parental leave, so it's not like he needed to be up early for work or anything. It's been a few days, but he still has this attitude. Anytime I ask him to change her poopy diapers, am I the asshole?
Let's hear the comments.
Top comment. You're the asshole. You need to get over your issues of things being gross. You had a child. They'll have gross moments for years. And your
Yeah.
husband isn't always going to be around to do the things you don't want to do. I'm not sure why you had a kid if you aren't capable of all aspects of having one.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I have also in the past had, like, being an uncle, I've had to change diapers sometimes.
Yeah.
And I have previously in the past had issues with changing poop diapers. I get that. But here's the thing.
Yep.
I got the fuck over it. I got over it because there were situations where I was just alone with the kids and I was looking after them and they needed a diaper change, and I wasn't just about to sit there and let them just stew in that and have a rash that is going to just, like, cause a massive issue later. Like, that shit's got to get taken care of. So someone has to do it, and ta-da, I'm elected. You inconvenienced your own husband because you couldn't get over one thing you have a problem with. Look, I get it. You and your husband had this, like, you know, agreement or whatever, but the thing is, I don't think your husband realized how bad of a problem this would end up being in the future, and when he realized how much of an issue it ended up being, he has the right to realize, oh, I'm not actually comfortable with this, and I need to talk about this. He is completely within his rights to say, hey, I thought about it, and I'm not comfortable with it. Maybe we should change some things. That is completely within his right. You are the asshole. Fucking get over it. I'm not even a parent and I'm telling you to get over it because I did.
Yeah. If you're raising kids, there's going to be a lot of situations like that where you think you have agreements or you think you have things worked out, but you have to readjust as new information comes to light. You got to get used to being flexible in that regard.
Yeah, when it comes to kids, it turns out when it comes to kids, I have very strong opinions.
Like, honestly, like if you have to make one of these kinds of agreements, it's gonna break down at some point, you know, especially over such a long period of time. You know, if you really never wanted to deal with this sort of thing, you should have just not had a kid, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you knew this would be a problem, and yet you decided to get into a relationship and marry somebody who wanted a kid anyway, even though you made it clear, even though you admitted to yourself you never wanted to, like, be a parent. That's on you as well. You made the conscious decision to get into a relationship you weren't ready for.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, from moment one, you're the asshole. Because you're forcing the other person in, because you are inconveniencing a relationship that the other person wants that you don't.
Yep, we're in agreement. You are the asshole.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Woo. I didn't want to, like, jump on that and immediately say that you're the asshole. I needed, like, some clarification. It's just like, I want to see what other people think because I have a strong opinion here.
Yeah. Makes sense. Huge place.
Huge place.
Huge place! Diaper changing any percent.
That's what she was trying to get the husband to do.
100% completion.
So,
that's the last one I got. I think we had some nice and spicy ones, though.
Dude, that last one got me fucking heated. Wow. I was not expecting that.
That's what we do here. We just try to get Kevin mad.
Woo! It turns out it's easier than you think.
Just throwing babies.
Oh, okay, but, like, don't throw I mean, if you want to get me mad, like, throwing babies will make me mad.
Noted. I'll write
don't
that down
throw babies, though.
In my handy dandy notebook. Throw babies.
Don't throw babies.
Kevin, everyone knows I'm not allowed within 50 meters of a baby.
Okay.
It's a long, storied history. It's not long at all. I threw babies. It's my favorite hobby. It's my favorite pastime.
Zeke, how could you? I thought I knew you. I trusted you.
Kevin, you don't understand. They make a very specific sound when they hit something. It's like ASMR up in this bitch.
Okay, I think we're good.
The Foley artist is gonna get me my fix. Crave audio eroticism.
Okay.
This has been the Baka Gaijin show. This is what you come here for. Tune in next week to learn even more disgusting details about our innermost secrets.
Preferably not. Don't throw
Most
babies.
of them are true.
No! No, they're not. I mean, maybe.
Baby throwing podcast. Talking about baby throwing all day.
Don't throw babies, kids. And don't throw kids, babies.
The kids are having babies now?
No!
That's a separate issue.
It's a separate problem.
Yeah. One I'm also deeply invested in like a monetary sense.
God, I think we're done. I think we're done now. We can stop.
No, I got more secrets to share. I can keep going.
We're done.
I've got some dark stuff in my life. You don't know what's going on.
Close this out, Zeke.
This is an anime podcast.
Welcome to the Baka Gaijin show. We talk about anime, I think.
Yep. Tune in for more Japanese cartoon shenanigans on the Baka Gaijin show. And by the way, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, you probably have a lot of concerns.
At
and
this point.
You can send those concerns to bakagaijinshow@gmail.com, along with topic suggestions if you feel so inclined. You can join our official Discord server in the link provided below to get updated on new episodes of the Baka Gaijin show, because you know you want more of this. You can hit that subscribe button and be notified when new episodes come out. And for even more disturbing details about our innermost secrets, you can follow us on Twitter @ZekeFreak and @CHarmanderK. This is weirdly the most professional outro I've ever done, and it follows whatever that just was. That's the juxtaposition you expect from the Baka Gaijin show.
It inspired you.
We do nothing. We are nothing if not inspiring. I don't know what we're inspiring, but we're inspiring things.
Sure, I guess.
We have good times here. This has been the Baka Gaijin show. Zeke Freak out. Ciao, ciao for now.